In BEST, you'll commonly use expectations to verify if a result is something that you expect. In the documentation, you'll find all available expectations, and there sure are a lot of them. If you click on one of them, you'll see a nice example. In this video, I want to talk about custom expectations. So if one of these isn't enough for you, you can easily add one of your own dynamically. Let's go to our demo project. Here in this test, we use a couple of expectations, namely to determine if the status of a response is one of the codes or if a response is forbidden. Let's try to improve this expectation with a custom expectation. I'm going to type it right here and we'll move this to the PEST.php file in a bit. How you can create a custom expectation is by calling extend. And the first thing you need to add here is the name of your custom expectation. I'm going to call this one is forbidden. The second argument is a closure. And inside of this function, you can use this value to get the value that is passed to expect. So here I'm going to refactor this so that expect gets response. And here I'm going to use is forbidden. So this value is equal to response. And here you can now write your custom expectation. We expect this value, which is the response, is forbidden, to be true. And let's return this, so this expectation also remains chainable. Let's move this to our PEST.php file, and I'm going to put it underneath these functions. Let's try it out by running this test, and sure enough, it works. Okay, let's do this one as well. So let's create another one here. Expect, we are going to extend it, is successful or redirect. And let's correct the spelling here. Let's give it a function. And here we expect this value, which is a test response. We want that status to be in any of these status codes. Let's also return this and try it out. So expect response is successful or redirect. And it is not found. Maybe I should save this file. So the PEST plugin picks up on it and now it recognizes this as a correct function. Let's try it out by running the test. And sure enough, it passes. Let's maybe try to break it. So I'm going to put something else in here. Let's run the test again. And now it fails. So our custom expectation is working. And again, I think this is a little bit more readable than what we had before. Both of the examples use no parameters in the custom expectation. We got no arguments here and we got no arguments here. Let's maybe do a final example where we use a custom expectation that accepts some arguments. And to keep it simple, I'm just going to code up my example in this test. So imagine that we want to do this. Expect 5, just a number. And this is the custom expectation that we want to have to be in the range 1 to 10. Okay, this one obviously doesn't exist, so let's add it. We are going to add an expectation with this name. Let's give it a function. And here we could write this. We're inside an expectation, so we can make use of all the other ones. And I'm going to use to be greater or equal than, and we should get the number here. And the arguments that you pass to the expectation will be passed to this function. So I could add int min and int max here. So it should be greater or equal than the minimum. And it also should be less or equal than the maximum, so that this remains chainable. Okay, let's try it out. This test should pass, but if I expect 11 to be in the range, then this test will fail, and it does. I think custom expectations are pretty neat to add new functionality or to make certain expectations a little bit more readable. Let's go to our PEST file one more time and make this a little bit better. Here we have returned this manually, but I think it's actually better to just return this expectation. Like that, and it will still remain chainable. Let's run the test to make sure. And it fails. Let's see what happens. It still fails because we have this failing expectation here. Let's run the test again. And sure enough, everything is working.